one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about this, Cowboys?
Woo! They don't know how we come in.
Man, say, man,
Damn.
listen, man. I tell you what. Every time I hear your intro, bro, I feel
That's
like,
strange. You're going to see a bad guy like this again.
Oh, you hear it?
yeah,
Oh, you hear it?
yeah.
No, y'all think y'all think we playing the games today?
That boy said last time you gonna hear a bad guy. Hold on, who had that button?
Oh, that's you.
Ooh, wait. The bad guy. Yes.
Yes, sir. What's
Yes.
good, chat? What's good, everybody? Y'all know what it is, man. I'm your host, Lou, but we got Coach Marv in the building. We got Boss Cowboy in the building.
Yo.
Amp in the building. But we gonna be on some, we on some bad guy ish tonight. You feel
Oh,
me?
damn.
We on some bad guy ish tonight.
Are
You
we?
see, oh yeah, you see his face in the middle, and all them guys in red, man. We talking about the dangers of passivity tonight, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Make sure you be coming in to like, subscribe to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's coming in, man. Hey, let's go one by one, man. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready to talk about it. It's been a while since I've been on with y'all fellas, man. I'm ready to talk about some good stuff, man. Hey, man. Hey, this is the time of the year I love right before you start getting on the grass.
Oh yeah, football can't come early enough, man. How you feeling, Amp?
Man, I am feeling good and great, dog. Hey, like Coach said, you can smell the grass. When you get on the grass, it's belt to ass. Let's go.
And I feel real good, bro. Like I'm like Coach. It feel good to be with the crew, man. Like this is the crew to where we go to war. This is the war crew. So let's go.
Like I said, if you're coming in, make sure to like and subscribe. We got great content coming your way. Let's start it out. Amp wanted to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? I know we on some. Let's switch the Bible just a little bit. Let me. Before I do that, there's some news that came out from Duke Manyweather. Y'all can see on the bottom third.
Yeah.
In an article that came out. Shout out to them. Some interesting tidbits came from there, man. Which one is this one? So one thing I took from right here we're gonna read is that they're finally on the same page. He says Duke and Coach Riley. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
When you hear that, what comes to your mind?
I mean, when I heard same page, that means you wasn't on the same page, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's something we all kind of knew, right? Because all of us talked about this in different ways. There was an alignment issue with Mike McCarthy when he was the head coach. It was always an alignment issue. But yes, I like the fact that the offensive coaches are fully aligned. The fact that you got a lot of guys that think in violence and that also think similar in scheme. And the main thing, and I'm not gonna hog it, I love the fact that Brian Schottenheimer said that I don't have yes men. So he have guys that's also willing to push back and fight for ideas that they believe in, but he's gonna have the final veto. But nah, I love it, man. I just like, the fact that Dallas is aligning.
What do you feel about Coach Marv?
I love it, man. And this shows that you have quality coaching. And let me tell you why I say quality. Quality coaching looks at what the players been doing and who they've been aligned with, and he aligns himself with those people, man, because that's going to help the player. He doesn't say, okay, these guys been working with a guy for all the summer and I don't want to talk to him. That's not helping the player. You do what's best for the player. You try to get into his space and find out who's working with him, and you align yourself with that so you can get the best out of the player. And if you hadn't done that, you're not a quality coach. And I think some of the guys that we had the offensive line were very old guys that were set in their ways, and they didn't want to see the young guy come in like Duke Manyweather and say, oh, well, we can do it this way. This is how we do it. And then they open themselves to learn the player and to see other avenues, because this is only going to help the players.
Yeah, that's what I took away from her as well. That I saw it in Coach Solari's teaching style. One thing that I saw is like he didn't teach, the game, inform it to the player on how they were playing in the offensive line. No, he was set in a certain way. He's like, no, this is how I teach offensive line. I don't care where you come from and everything like that. You're gonna learn it my way. And I don't know. It's just I found it counterproductive because you're not gonna be with them all the time. And this is the guys who are with him in the offseason. So and then let me go to another quote that I took that also ties into that. With BB, this is the one thing that really took from me. With Cooper BB in general, he says, honestly, he was moved to center, but really didn't have detailed coaching and development in season making that transition. What was the saying I was saying about BB the entire year? What was I calling him, boss?
You were talking guard.
I said 3 guard.
3 guard. Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Yes, you did.
And OC was on it too. We were saying BB was playing like a guard the entire season.
You were saying that. You really was. You was very early on that.
I caught it early because this man he wasn't seeing the stunts, the way he was blocking, he was stepping over Zach Martin. This right here is very eye-opening to me because if BB wasn't getting the necessary coaching for him to make his change, how can we say Tyler Guyton was getting also the same coaching?
Yeah, it was alarming to me. I'm gonna be quick, Coach. It was alarming to me when all the people that I'm definitely not an offensive line expert, but I know I got smart people around me, like Coach Marv and you, Lou, and the OC, right? People like Boss, people that played the position. So it was always alarming to me, and it's always something to me when the offensive linemen people are saying the same thing without talking to each other. See, that's something that always stood out to me. When I saw you, Lou, have issues with the change of steel and his technique, right? And the feet work and the way that he was making his sets, right? Where setting is basically where you their first kick slide where they're getting prepared for the one-on-one against this particular opponent, likely an edge, right? So when you was raising concerns, the OC raising concerns, that did say that it was coaching. Because I always say this in the Book of Boss. I have sayings that I call the Book of Boss. It's basically like philosophies that I believe in. And I always say, if an individual is playing bad, you look at that individual. But when the group is performing bad, you got to look at the coach.
Yeah. What you saying?
Boss was, I got when Boss put that philosophy out about when you look at the group, I took that from him and I used that in what I, the things I look at as well. But you're right, Lou. There was no continuity. There was no comfortable. They weren't comfortable. And then in the aspect they didn't control the line of scrimmage. And those are 3 C's you need to be a great offensive line. And they didn't have those things. And that is a direct relation to the coaching, as well as the younger players didn't get better. You had, even though Tyler Smith had a great year, he had games that he fell off. Even Zach Martin didn't look as good as he's supposed to have looked. So when you don't have good coaching, I don't care how much of a veteran or how much a guy got skins on the wall, he still needs good coaching to keep his stuff sharp. And that's why I think Schottenheimer saw that. Even Schottenheimer even said that about Dak Prescott when he said earlier in this press conference, hey, we working on some things with Dak, because Dak got to work on these things. So he's building this through our offensive line that says, we got to get better regardless of what your name is. And this is what a good coach does. And I'm glad he's going to a resource of some people that really knows the player so he can really find out how to make them tick and do what's best for them.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. I was hoping him to come back. But yeah, O-line coaching, I'm glad it's getting better. I'm glad they're finally on one accord with Duke Manyweather. He's there. He's a tool. Use it. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want him to teach on the offseason, let's get in there. I like the good news I'm hearing, that they've been really in there working. So I'm really behind this offensive line. Everybody. I know everyone is low on certain people like Terrence Steele, Tyler Guyton, but I'm actually very high on these guys coming in in his year, because I feel like the coaching, even though Connor Riley is not a proven guy in the league just yet, but him and a combination of Clayton Adams and the office, the emphasis with Schottenheimer, I expect this offensive line to be much better. But now let's switch to the meat and potatoes of the show. And
before you go there, I do also want to echo what you just said though, is that it's a lot of indications that the offensive line is going to be really good.
Yes.
Like it's the fact that the first hires was geared towards them, and that Brian Schottenheimer said that this team will go as the offensive line goes. Then Clayton Adams said,
Right. Yeah.
This team, and he even said it like this, Coach Ball. He said it like this. He said, I'm gonna spend some time building relationships with Dak and CD because that's important. And he literally said it like that. This team will go through the offensive line. So
the echo on what you just said, and I live off the button and philosophy.
Yeah.
He said, but whatever he says after but, you best believe that. That's definitely true. Everything else before that, you can. But what he said, when a person says but, and whatever comes after but, and believe them because that is there.
Right.
But he said he wanted that relationship to go. But again, I say it again, and I think Boss might remember doing this many seasons. I've always said the offensive line was used incorrectly.
Yes,
when you do a misjustice, when you use an offensive lineman incorrectly, when you use Steele the way you need to use him and be physical first, you don't have no problem with pass blocking. But when you don't use them correctly, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah,
I heard this saying. The most important hire when coaching is the head coach. But I heard the second most important hire on a football team is your offensive line coach. Not the coordinators, your offensive line coach. Look at Philly. They didn't have turnover after turnover and after turnover. You know who always there gonna have their seat and always gonna have the light on in their office? Jeff Stoutland. Because that's how important it is to have that group in order like it is.
Can I get an echo on? I'm gonna tell you this one right here. The offensive line coach in New England for all the years they would dominate was the best offensive line coach in the league. When he retired, the New England Patriots, that's when not when Tom Brady left. When he retired, you saw that team start to go down, and they've never had a good offensive line since then.
Oh, I was gonna ask for some examples on that. Thank you, Coach.
And
you got to show me.
Exactly, and that's how important. We ain't been the same. We've been how many offensive line coaches? We on our third in 4 years? That just shows you like how if the offensive line coach ain't right, the room ain't right. Same thing with defensive line, everything like that. The trenches is important, and development in the trenches is important as well.
And when you get the room, it's just like what Boss said. When you have issues in a lot of your room, you look at the guy to hire them.
That's right. That's it. I'm gonna say one more thing, and then I can get off of offensive line. I want to say real quick, man. Shout out to filming.
Yeah.
See, now when we look back at filming, we should appreciate what filming did. Taking a Terrence Steele, who was undrafted, and had to play a whole season, and then develop him. And his last 8 games was better than his first 8 games his rookie year. And then to bet on him publicly, to go one-on-one against Nick. It wasn't Nick Bosa. It was Joey, the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And stand on the table from his development and his coaching and still to have his best year. That was on the filming. So it's one of those things that I know a lot of people talk bad about filming, but now when I look back at it, it's people like filming that had Steele playing at his best. So,
and I think, Boss, wasn't that season that we won 6 games in a row? Yeah, that was the season we won 6 games in a row. That was the year that we won 6 games in a row. That was the year that Terrence Steele had that. And guess what, boss?
Yeah.
We was running the ball an average of 37 times a game.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
In those 6 games. So you made Steele feel comfortable, and when you made him feel comfortable, you got the best
out of Steele. Can we slow down on that real quick? Just real quick, because I know we want to move off offensive line. I know. But see, I'm going to see, you know, me and Coach, we steal from each other. See, something I ain't never forget Coach said. He said, you want to get that offensive line lathered up. I'll never forget Coach said that. He said, well, you say we got them boys lathered up. And so, like, and he talking about running the ball and imposing. He always talk about imposing your will, but getting their confidence up by running the ball too. And that's what like putting it all together. What Coach was saying with that too is getting the best out of Steele was also having an identity of running the ball. Heavily running the ball. Like he said, we was having 37 rush attempts, but you also was having your best offensive line play. So let me also flip that and say this. It was the opposite under Mike McCarthy. You had too many pass attempts, not enough rushing attempts, and you had bad offensive line play from both your tackles.
That's where you was at.
Yeah. So I'm gonna steal this from Vach. I'm in steal mode right now. It's certain things that's gonna be on the test. Vach always say that. I think that's one of the flyest things he ever said in his life. Certain things gonna be on the test. You know what's gonna be on the test? Get your offensive lineman lathered up before you start having them dudes on their heels. That's gonna be on the test.
I want to say one thing, Luke. In every game, and this is a tidbit for everybody. In every game, there's an alpha and a beta in the game, and that's decided in every first quarter of a game. Which team is the alpha tonight, and which one's going to be the beta? If you start off being the beta, you never get to be alpha status none that whole game. Maybe the next game, but not that game. So when you get dominant and you come out first, I always used to coach my team, say, hey, when you come out first, be the alpha first. If you the alpha first, the officials will give you the benefit of the doubt. Everybody will give you the benefit of the doubt if you show you alpha first. But if you become out being beta at the beginning, you'll never be alpha in that game until the next game. So that's what I mean by ladder up. Get your team in alpha status first, and then we'll roll from there.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts, man? We just went over, you know, 2 things I caught from that article. I'm just saying it again. One, I noticed that Duke is emphasizing that he's finally on par with the offensive line coach, like they're finally communicating. And then 2, I noticed that he noticed that BB wasn't getting the proper development and he was moved out of position. So what do you feel?
Man, look, that dude is a gem. When I say a gem, I mean a gem, because you talking about positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying? You talking about that extra credit, that enrichment, you know? And it's during these moments. It's not what you do during practice during the season. It's this work here that helps determine your aptitude for the next season and your altitude. So for him to be in sync with the coaches, it's like they got a copy of the test before they got to the test.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the ultimate cheat code, because we've seen what his thumbprint looks like when he touches a guy. His work speaks for itself. So the fact that we're getting that, it's a premium, man. The dude is a diamond in the rough, dog.
I love it. I'm gonna be breaking down all that offensive line film. I expect high expectations from my old line this year, man. High expectations.
Oh,
but
let me add this. I heard y'all while I was trying to fix the technical stuff. The lack of development last year?
Yeah. And you have guys playing out of position.
You cannot get that time back. Like you can do all you can now and move forward, but situations like that are what I call growth stunners, you know? Like you lost an entire offseason. That's like damn near being injured. So hopefully they can get those guys back up to speed where they need to be as far as the technical stuff, the hand placement, the foot movement, because all of that is essential. Like when you have a situation where you got two pieces across from each other and they roughly weigh about the same, they roughly push about the same, it's those technical nuances that help give you that edge.
Yeah. But listen, y'all, make sure to like and subscribe wherever y'all watching from. Show love, man. Show love. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this right here.
Yeah, we're going to remember that word, fellas, when we go into the meat and potatoes of this, of development. That word that my brother Amp put out there, that's a very key word as we go into this show when you say development.
We finna get in.
And that guy right there is part of the problem of development.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I'm sorry, we gotta get back. Let me get back dark. We gotta get back dark, man. You feel me? I
say the
what?
bad guy. No,
Yes,
I mean that's Dave.
Yeah.
I love that button, bro.
Yeah, we finna
Say hello to
we gotta be the bad guy today.
Man.
This man right here, always prioritizing the budget. And I'm finna lay it out. We finna lay it out all the way right here. Let me drive it. The timeline of the Our Guys philosophy. You know what I'm saying? It's a phrase coined by our very own Boss Cowboy.
No, that's not mine.
Oh,
no, it's not.
Oh,
that's
never mind.
Stephen Jones.
Never mind. Wrong Joneses.
No. Don't you ever in your life put that on me.
I thought you saw it like that.
No, I've been saying what he been saying for you.
That
Our
meant
guys.
that meant paraphrasing, bro.
I've been paraphrasing him.
But listen, man.
Okay.
I built a timeline going all the way back to 2014. The problem we gonna get to today, I think the Cowboys, and shout out to generation to generation if they watching, because they perfectly said it, man. It seems like the Cowboys every year when team building, they prioritize a set of positions, and then they always leave some positions out of the budget, or they don't emphasize it, or they don't want to contribute to it. So we going back to 2014. Yeah, I got Anthony Spencer and Mincy on there. Yeah, we ain't seen them names in a long time. We drafted D-Law. Another thing, we let DeMarcus Ware walk. So we got a rookie and we let our all-world player walk. Defensive end is a heavy need. Also D tackle. If y'all remember what happened in 2014, the Dez catch. 2016. All right, our guys, Morris Claiborne. Y'all remember that name? Jesus Christ. Byron Jones. It was guys on the market like Chandler Jones, defensive end, you know what I'm saying? And we got carved up in the secondary. Also, defensive tackle is still a need. Common theme here. We're going to get back to that though. 2018, run defense, wide receiver 2, Antoine Woods and Gallup. Y'all remember that? These are the games. These are the people we were protected. We had an opportunity to get Damian, I think his name, Snacks Harrison, the big nose tackle. You remember in 2018, the Rams with no Vaseline, as my guy Ice Cube said it, for $273. Then in 2021, this is when we first got Tyler Smith, and we got like Connor Williams. We had a very young offensive line, and we should have got a vet, in my opinion, because they actually had a bulk load of the penalties going in. I literally, if y'all seen my series, they had a penalty on the first drive. Okay, 2023. Linebacker depth. We don't need linebackers, remember? LVE. Y'all see him in Big 55 right there. Had a chance to bring in Bobby Wagner, a running back. And guess what? DT. And here we go again, 2024. Wide receiver, running back.
And DT.
Again. What are y'all thoughts on this, man? Because I get angry every time I see this.
It's blasphemy, man. I hate it, dog. Like, Cowboys fans, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. Philly is drafting the blueprint. Now, for some time, I felt like we were kind of neck and neck as far as pushing the envelope as far as acquisition. But somewhere along the line, they got real bold. And they got tired of playing it safe. And they started pushing those extra buttons. And you see they have returned dividends already. 2 championships within the last decade. Damn, Special K.
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing at, Special K.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Check this out though.
Damn, Special.
Can I jump in there?
Ouch.
Out. It's real.
Can I jump in and say my second one? Be the second person on this? I'm glad you said something about Philadelphia. And I know we talking about players, but I had a show that I did not too long ago about why general managers get fired. They don't get fired for acquisition of players. They get fired for the people that they say they want to develop the players. And we have been cheap in that area. If you want to talk about Philly changed their defensive coaching staff, brought in 2 rookies to play that ain't nobody talked about, that turned out to be great. Got some linebackers that nobody even thought about. Now they become good linebackers, and took the same defense that was getting run through the year before and made them number 1 defensive league. They didn't change no players. They changed the mentality and the people that demanded that they get better. And guess what? We go bargain basement and get guys that's coming out of rehab to be our linebacker coach or running back coach. And then we expect our players to get, so when I talk about development, like I said that word before, the reason why we didn't have no development last year and that we haven't ascended is because our ownership decided to give it lame duck status where you're not going to get no development with a guy that's on a 1 year. You think the players are going to listen to a guy that is on a 1 year contract. You're not going to get no development with that. So we hurt the development by being cheap in the front office about who we brought in here to do our job. And I remember the first interview Schottenheimer said, the first words came out of his mouth was, we need to develop our players. It's okay if you want to go with our guys, but you pimping backwards when you said, I want to go with the younger guys, but I'm going to get a rinky-dink coaching staff to get them ready. If you're going to go cheap on the player end, you need to go big time on the coaching end. You can't go cheap both ends and say, well, we're going to come out with the best result. If I'm going to get the best liquor, I can go cheap on the mixer. But if I'm going to go cheap on the mixer, I better have the best liquor. One or the other got to be the best. I can't go both cheap on both ends. And regardless of it said, I would say in our time that we've been talking about in recent years, our coaching staff, if you level them up, has been pathetic when you come across the league. And I can tell you this, we talked about the offensive line coach in Philadelphia. He took Beckham when everybody thought Beckham was washed up and was a bust. And made him, and took him in 1 year, put him together on the offensive line, got the offensive line together, and then this guy got paid. They did that across the board. And that's why they trust their coaching staff so much. They let guys go like crazy. Free agents go, because they trust their coaching staff to get the next man ready and play. But we go out there with guys that, like I said, came off rehab, came out of people that shouldn't even been coaching the league, and we probably some of them guys ain't got a job no more. And that's why I say Stephen Jones has hurt the development here, because he didn't put the people to develop people, and he did that without a salary cap. So what you saving money with that for? There ain't no cap on that. But he did it that way, and then he tried to blame it on everybody else. But you didn't put the people in the place to do it.
So,
damn, son.
Can you do me a favor? Can you put up the thumbnail? So we talking about the dangers of passivity, right? Could you then now put up the slide of the history of needs? So when I'm looking at this, what I noticed on this timeline slide is the fact that almost every time you broke down a combination of budgeting, DT was still always on the list based on how you saw the needs during those timelines. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, so now you can put the camera on all of us. So this is what I would say to this. I've been I've been really contemplating on something that John Machota talked about, right? And I'm gonna do a whole show on it because he really sparked me. He sparked me. He said that if you really want to see if a team is serious or not about winning the championship, just go look at the DTs.
Huh.
I actually took him up on that challenge. I looked at the Super Bowl champs, right? I also looked at the national champs, and I'm doing a deeper dive into that, right? He's right. When you look at a majority of the champions, so like when people hear me talking about DT, sometimes it might be taken like I'm being negative, but really what I want to do is win a championship. That's what this is about. It's about a championship idea and having the talent. And so when you go look at the Super Bowl teams, right, the winners, even the previous one, when you look at Philly, like Milton Williams was a 3-tech that was a depth player. That's equal to Osa. Think about that. Think about that. Philly's depth player is equal to Osa. So what does that say about Carter, right? Now going into year 3. And then Jordan Davis was in year 3, right? So at that time, he was developed like what Mozzie is getting ready to be for us now. So, but go look at what Philly did when Jordan Davis was a rookie.
It's levels.
What did they do? They went and got Linval Joseph. And they went and got Sue.
Ndamukong Suh.
And this is Jordan Davis. This is a first round DT. So,
like the homie Vouch said, they stack top down.
yeah, they
Boss,
put, yeah.
when you
We
dig in
stack
deep with
bottom
this,
up.
Boss, when you digging deep in this,
Yeah.
when you digging deep, look how much they paid their defensive line coach when they got their defense coordinator. Watch how, when you look at it, you're going to be saying, wow, they got this guy and they paid him big time dollars and it paid dividends.
Yeah, but coach, I'm going to say, I don't even think
They
it's
paid
always coaching.
Big time dollars.
I think it's more talent than coaching.
No.
That's what I'm going to say.
Milton Williams, listen here, they paid this guy big time dollars.
So
and
you
Milton
think it's
Williams
coaching?
turned into being a starter.
So you
Let me
think
tell you
the key to turning, so if you
Yes.
put up that list, Lou, if you put up that list,
Which list?
the list of history,
This?
Mhm.
yeah. So you saying, coach, I just want to make sure I'm understanding you correct. You saying that all we needed through all these years of needing DTs was just a coach.
Yeah, we could have gotten better. And I put it like when you say Philly had those same players. They didn't change those players. The year before they won the Super Bowl this past year, they was getting run through like X-Lax. Their last 7 games, they couldn't stop nobody from running the ball. They didn't change no personnel, and now they the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah, but they personnel also developed. So, like for instance, Jordan, like they did at one time change their personnel. That's why I was talking about their history. So when Jordan Davis was a rookie, yeah, they did change their personnel. They went and got Linval Joseph, and they went and got Sue, and they went to the Super Bowl that year. So, and so
And they lost the defensive coordinator that went to after that year.
Yeah, but I don't
he
think
lost-
it's.
and
I don't
he
think a
left,
coordinator can solve
Yeah, yeah.
all. I don't think that at all. I don't think you can coach talent. You got either have it or you don't. And I don't think you can coach your 3 DTs. You either have that veteran experience or you don't. So I think what the Dallas Cowboys have been greatly making mistakes with, like for instance, I just refuse to believe that if Mozzie was to get hurt, that we gonna be okay with Jay. I'm just not gonna believe that for 1 second. Especially when I look at, I don't care who the coach is, especially when I go look at the history of 7-round DTs. See, me and Henny went back and looked at these DTs all the way back to 2016. Literally 95, matter of fact, all of the DTs that were drafted in the 7th round got waived within a year. So it was obvious that they was not panning out. And it's a certain time you gotta have the talent. So my thing is this. I don't understand how, talking to Cowboy Nation, how did we understand that if CeeDee Lamb was to go down, that we would have a receiver problem? But we don't have no kind of urgency that if Mozzie goes down, we don't have a DT problem.
And it happened before. Like that's the thing. So I think in 2018, I forgot to add, we did trade for a DT. It's not 20. Whenever we drafted Mozzie, was it 2021? It's around these years. And then I think it was a year later we traded for Jonathan Hankins. But when Hankins went down, what happened?
Yeah, Quentin Bohanna got hit in his mouth.
When we went into I think Malik Collins or Antoine Woods when he went down.
Yep.
What happened?
We got gashed against the Rams because they brought up a practice squad player that was fresh in that playoff game, and he got demolished.
See, like I played high level. I played in the SWAC, and the one thing I'll never forget: the difference between the FCS and the Power 5, like the Alabamas and Georgia.
Them Lions.
You might say it's the quarterback. You might say it's the running back. But the main difference between a Power 5 school and a AA school
Trenches.
is them trenches.
That's right.
Because if you can't stop that, you lose every game.
Yep.
So I understand this is why we feel this way. I'm gonna bring this up right here. See, Cowboy Nation, y'all want to defend the run, right? But this is not being serious enough of defending the run when you constantly leave this need every year. Because if you want to be like the top teams and top defenses, the champions of the league, this is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see what Chat did. What you do? Let me take a box.
Hold on, man. Because I said Chat GPT using the metric. I'm gonna give you the metric of what a good run defense is. I know what it is. Damn rushing yards in the game. It's yards per carry. That is your metric. Give me of the last 3 years, the top defenses with the lowest metric, and who were their DTs?
All of them had ballers, didn't it?
Who were there over the last 3 years? Look at this.
Wait.
So the best year we ever had was last year.
Okay.
It was the Ravens and Justin Matabuke, who was a all-pro defensive tackle.
And that ain't his only
I
time
need
on
this
the list.
list, Lou. I need this
That
for my
ain't his
show.
only time on the list.
That ain't his own. Hey, no, say it again. That ain't his only time on the list. Look, and then we got the Broncos and Mike Purcell. I'm gonna get back to him. He won an all-pro, but there's a common theme with him. The Packers, nose tackle, Kenny Clark, one of the top defensive tackles in the league. Then we got the Vikings and Harrison Phillips. We know that name. The Steelers, Cameron Hayward he been playing. He been playing.
Wait, hold on.
Playing since I was in high school.
Wait, hold on. You got this from Chat GPT, dog?
Man, Chat GPT. But listen, we see the Lions. Aaliyah McNeil. Y'all remember that name? He got paid off whooping, Zach Martin this past year.
This epic.
This is stupid.
The Niners, Hargrave, who was an Eagle, and Eric Armstead. Matabuke again. Look at the Buccaneers. I think that's a Super Bowl year in 2021.
So basically, in the nutshell, all the top teams, jittily, still jittily. But the top almost every year always had a killer in the middle somewhere.
Man, when I used to play, and we did inside run, inside run. When it's offensive line, running back, and linebackers, it's front seven. I'm telling you right now, we didn't have a good day if that nose tackle was whooping the center.
Oh, hey, and see what's crazy is this perfectly aligns with what Joe Bachoda said, bro. And my research on what I've been looking at the champions, because I'm gonna do a show saying copy the champs, right? And that's what's frustrating to me, to be honest. What's frustrating to me is I'm not even asking for a Vita Vet. I believe Mozzie gonna be really good in year 3. I'm just like, okay. We need depth with him. And so, because I'm coming from the philosophy of trying to win a championship and having this at the top of my mind, that it's better to have it and not need it.
Yes, sir.
Than to need it and not have it.
Can I say something about your list up there?
Yeah.
Can I say something about your list? Do we when you look at this list, don't we see one common factor in this list? Each one of these teams are physical teams that probably run the football, so you get better at run defense.
What you saying, Coach?
Playing against physical, when you playing against physical offenses.
Let's get
It's commonly known if you have a finesse offense, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be good at run defense.
And another common,
I said that's true.
Your defensive tackle development,
because Coach, I was double checking this. You're right.
It's going to be slowed because you have a finesse offense and you're not committed to working on your run game. So yes, you may have some slow development in your defensive tackles.
Yeah,
because when you look at these teams up here, even the coaching style, Peyton, the Ravens, the Packers, you know they run the ball. Yeah. The only person I make it say that is maybe the Vikings. They had a new coach that came in.
Yeah,
it's not the same coach. That's
that might be the only one on this list, Coach. You're right.
Yeah, that might be a brand new coach, and that was a new philosophy. Because I think that coach was a rookie coach, and I don't know where. I forgot where.
No. The D coordinator. No, we forget the D coordinator, Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Right. So when you look at these teams,
physicality, right?
They are physical. So when you practice against a physical team, this is where when you work on your run game, and it's not a second thought. Listen, let me ask you this question. You don't think our defensive tackles will get better for the 3 monsters we got in the middle of our defense, and our offense can get these guys better?
Oh, absolutely.
You talking about Tyler, BB, and Tyler going at them every day?
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's another.
Hey, that's what.
Yeah. See, that's another thing, Coach Mark. See that. I know people looking at this list and think, man, they all got dogs, and we looking at mine like, oh, we ain't got a dog. Look at the second name, and I want you to bring your name back to the Broncos. You probably don't know none of those names on them lists, but Mike Purcell is a 10-year vet. That's the common theme in this entire list. I'm gonna tell you right now, they all vets. They all got
the 3 themes. Hold on, we gotta talk about the 3 themes we seeing so far. Number 1 theme, talent. Number 2 theme, what Coach said. Physicality, coaching, right? Running teams. Number 3, vets. That's the common theme on this list.
Now, I will say the Broncos, if you look at that, they was probably the only vets. The rest of them, they had 2 rookies on their team that played a bunch of minutes and did pretty well. But that's just, like I said,
Who?
That's getting your team ready.
The Broncos?
The Broncos.
When?
That's getting your team ready.
When they do that?
Yeah, check the roster. They had. I need to pull up that. I pulled up the thing. There were 7, 8 defensive tackles that played, and this year was rookies that gave great minutes on teams, and the Broncos had 2 of them. So it's listen.
Luke, can you double check that?
They didn't ask him
show
to be.
Me.
We're not asking the guy. They didn't ask the guy to be a monster. They asked the guy to really just do his job. And one of the other things that I see.
Let me look this up real quick, because you say Denver. Hold on.
Yeah, Denver, because they had to go with a lot of young guys because they still in salary cap crazy.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Denver. Luke, can you pull that up?
And then when you look at these teams, also they have not only a mentality with their defensive tackles, they have a mentality with their defense that you're not going to run on them.
I need to see. Okay.
So.
I'm looking at the Broncos right now. Now this is this year, so hold on real quick. I need to look at last year.
Yeah, Coach. This is what I'm seeing. This is.
Can you pull it up? Yeah, is it possible to pull it?
While y'all pulling that up, let me answer Pierre in the chat.
Yeah.
He said, does Mozzie Smith have the tools to be a high-end nose tackle?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. And matter of fact, I'm betting that's gonna happen.
Of him putting it all together.
Yeah, and
there.
And that's the scary part is if this was Kansas City, I would feel a lot better about Mozzie playing way more reps because that's what they do with Chris Jones. That's what they do. That's what they do in Kansas City. Is that their starters play a lot. Okay,
that's a damn dog.
Coach, here's the hold on. Y'all can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Here's their 2 defensive tackles right here. DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach from 2024.
Yeah, that's what I see. That's what I'm
now. Let me share it again. Stop screen sharing. Yeah. Malcolm Roach.
Vet.
6 years.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at DJ Jones. He was drafted in 2017.
He's 2017.
A vet. So the coming
with their roster, I didn't say they were starters. I'm talking about. So what they I know that those might be the starters. What their roster looks like. They may have.
But I'm talking about the starters because that's because that's who go play. You know what I'm saying? So
this is who all they list because I think they only carried as far as now Zach Allen. Now you may be talking about the ends, defensive ends.
Let me see. Because I'm looking at it too. Let me go to it. I'm looking at their depth chart now.
They only listen 2 nose tackles.
Yeah, I see 2 nose tackles. I see DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach and Jordan Miller as the third DT, and he was in his first season out of SMU, and he didn't have any snaps that I see, no production. So it looked like they developing him. I think the guy that you probably thinking about, Coach, is probably their defensive end. Let me see. I'm looking at.
Why you do that?
He'll vet too.
He'll vet. So Tariq, so I'm glad you said it. Y'all main thing, you have to spend money for those dogs.
Not even really.
No, you don't. Because that's what I said. You looking at this
costs a whole lot.
We just want depth. That's all I want. This is
the thing. We want this. They list more than one defensive tackle, and they list some names that you don't even know. Like right here in 2022, Fletcher Cox wasn't the same Fletcher Cox, but he was the vet right there.
Yeah.
Or the Saints right here in 2022, Deion Sanders and Nathan Shepard. That was an 8-year player and a 6-year player. Right. Our common theme is this: you don't walk no rookie out there.
No.
And ask him to stop the run
for 17 games.
All I'm saying is this:
and playoffs.
Walk Jay Toya out there. If you saying the same mouth that you want to stop the run, I won't believe you.
I won't either.
Mm-hmm. Because you remember the whole fight with me this whole week. This whole year. They were fighting me on wide receiver too, saying we got to get serious about the offense. So what you needed to go do is go get a top tier wide receiver. That's what you did. So I'm in my same vein. I'm saying is this: if you want to stop the run, like you could be the top of the league in wide receiver too, you better go get you a defensive tackle. How about that?
Yeah, just for depth.
Yeah,
just for depth. Get you a vet. Everybody in here is at least 6, 10, 8 years. They've been doing this thing for the long. They got gray in their beards.
That's right.
Yeah,
Lou, is it possible for me to share my screen, bro?
One thing I would say this:
I think I can.
When we had one guy that was on our defensive line, he wasn't a defensive tackle, but when he played, he did make people run away from him, and that was when DeMarcus Lawrence was on the field. He's a run stopper, and again, and I think we should get some people on this defensive line, the defensive tackles, but I'm hoping that overall in our other parts, from our cornerbacks to our safeties, to our defensive ends, to our linebackers, that we get better at stopping the run. Because we don't. The one thing I see in that list that you show up there, if you go through those lists of those teams that they show, not only with their physicality, they have a DNA of saying you're not going to run the football on us. And that goes from the safeties all the way down. They got a DNA of saying that. And they're not going to allow you to run on them. And they're going to motivate their guys up front because that's what their DNA is. So I want to see that DNA from our team, because if we're not good at defensive tackle, what area do we dominate the run? Do we dominate from the 3 tech? Do we dominate from the defensive end tech? Are we dominant with our strong safety that is a bona fide run stopper? Where are we dominant if we ain't defensive tackle? What other area that we say we dominant in stopping the run at?
Right.
My only pushback with that, Coach.
And you can see this though, real quick. Can you see this?
Yeah, we can see it.
Wow.
Let me
I
say
was
this
able to
real
share
quick.
my screen. God damn.
I just want to say, when we want to, oh no, put it back.
My bad.
Yeah, when we want to stop the run, or we want to get better at running the ball. Yes, one can say, how's the running back? But what is the first group we look at when we want to get better at running the ball? The offensive line.
Yeah.
And I feel like on the conversely, because we say that on the offensive line, because if we can handle the road pavers Then we can take care of the running back. Like if he can't beat the guy one-on-one, I need a new running back. That's what my coach always say. Block it up perfectly. Leave the safety for the running back. If the running back can't beat the safety, you need a new running back. Period.
That part.
Same thing for the defense. Like I said, shout out to my dogs I played with in high school, Damien and Darian. There was some all-state defensive tackles. When they were doing their damn job, linebackers was clean.
Yes, sir.
We can see we can see Damone Clark miss the hole. You know what I'm saying? We can see LVE, you know what I'm saying, want to stick his nose in there if he's doing a false step like that. We can see if J-Ron Curse is he being a proper force defender and coming and fill the alley. But if we can't see that and the trash is getting pushed into their face. I know we want to coach up the guys in the back, but I need to get the guy in front right first.
Yes, sir.
But
playing that position, Lou, guess what? It indeed is true. You cannot hit what you cannot see. And if you got a lot of traffic and a lot of junk in front of you, it makes your job that much more difficult. So I'm sitting here. I don't understand. I'm hearing some Cowboys fans talk about the edges and, the depth there and, possibly being super deep there. And
we are.
That's all well and good. That is all well and good.
Yeah, we're extremely deep.
However, hello, McFly. Pass rush is a privilege.
Oh, say it again.
Wait,
hold on.
Ooh.
Pass rush is a privilege.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Because it was quite a few times last year where we were playing teams and in certain drives, them MFers never saw third down. It's a privilege. I think we're getting so caught up in the toy aspect of the defense. We like the sexy stuff, and we don't want to address what is really essential, and that's that big back in the damn middle.
Big back. Big back. Coach, you said you disagreed with Amp or Lou.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to really get into that. I'm gonna say it in this manner. There's a word that says that in this defense, stopping the run is not priority with this whole defense. Just get to that. Just remember that I can tell you that for sure. That's not a priority.
You're right.
With this whole defense.
I got you, Coach. I got you. You're right.
When it's a priority, we have games like San Francisco and we had poor defensive tackles and we shut San Francisco down in the playoff game. When it came to everybody participating with
the game with
Carlos Watson and those guys, and
Coach, we had Hankins in that game.
No, this is the first year we played without Hankins. This is when we put that first year we played in the playoffs.
You talking about the one we played in San Fran?
No, the one we played with the 14 penalties.
Oh, okay, that was
what.
Yeah.
Them
DTs
Carlos Watkins.
Yeah, the Carlos Watkins. But Coach, I gotta push you. Carlos Watkins was still a vet, though. At least a vet, and that's all we're asking for, Coach. That's all we're asking for, Coach, is a vet.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I'm saying that running game would stop because San Francisco, your defense tackles really don't stop San Francisco running game. If you don't play physical on the edges or with your linebackers and safeties, they're going to attack you off tackle all day. But that game, we saw a collective group.
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. No, I agree. I say I ain't gonna fight you when you see because you keeping it funky on that. And see that's
but that's right. But this, I'm not disagreeing with you with the defensive tackles, but I'm just saying there is a word that's been said that collectively everybody's not bought into the run stop, and they go back to what Ant was saying. They are all bought in to rushing the pass and playing the pass game, but when it comes down to run, and every week we used to hear the same problem. And y'all remember this. It always came down, and every week we used to hear when they get run on, we not being disciplined, we not being in our fits, we not fit in it. And then some games they'll be fit. Then they go right back to the same thing. Are we not in our fit? It has to be a mentality
Coach,
thing.
Coach,
I'm
gonna say this to that. I think you was definitely right on what you just said under Dan Quinn. Under Zimmer, I did see a lot of discipline from the edges, right? After Detroit. Now, before Detroit, we was having some edge problems, and they was attacking our corners. That's what I remember from my film breakdown when I was breaking down why we couldn't stop the run. I didn't really see them last year under Zimmer really having a lot of success attacking the defensive ends. I was seeing more success with them attacking the corners. But then after Detroit, I don't remember us at all in the watch parties having a problem with stopping the run at all. Matter of fact, I remember us praising the fact that our defensive ends under Zimmer had way more discipline, and they was actually, holding their edges after Detroit, So yes, I think you're correct with what happened under Dan Quinn in terms of the lack of discipline that was coming from the edges and people that was basically, for lack of better words, playing hero ball. That's what you're talking about. A lot of hero ball.
When you said
a lot of it.
That's why I have a concern when we talk about we have the personnel, because I can see games like Detroit and I can see the paid attention to detail of saying we're not going to let you run the book and everybody locked in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we get a game, and where's that it? It has to be a mentality thing that says we got to be locked in all the time.
Let me ask you a question, Coach.
Inconsistency.
Didn't we see? Because I felt like we saw the mentality last year, didn't we? After Detroit, didn't we see
inconsistency
after Detroit?
Yeah, we saw some inconsistency.
Because I don't remember that. Because what I remember is the defense turning the corner, in my opinion. Like, I remember after Detroit, the defense turned the corner, and I saw a lot of responsibility, and I saw a lot of team ball. It's like happening from the whole deep corners, the obviously the interior players and the edge. But I'll say this. Let me just ask you this, Coach. Let me just ask you this, Coach. Would you feel comfortable with Jay Tua if you had to play him, Jay Tua, the rookie? If they said we got to play him for the year, how you feel about that?
If he in the rotation playing 10 plays, which you probably would play.
No, I'm saying if Mozzie go down.
Oh, now, yeah, you got to go get something. You're not gonna play him.
Okay, no, Coach. We're not playing. No, you're not gonna play him. We're not playing 10 plays. We forgetting who the D line coach is, right? The D line coach. White Cotton said,
"They gonna run."
And I quote, "I want these guys running to the ball." Full speed to their lungs are on fire.
He gonna do that too.
If our defense, listen. Let me tell y'all this: if your offense is playing well and your defense is playing well, and we're doing the things that we said, right? They ain't gonna be on the field no more about 62, 63 plays, if that meant. If you getting the third string backup is getting over 20 plays, then that's a problem. Now, if our defense is not playing well and our offense is going crazy and our defense out there 70, 80 plays, I don't care who you got on the defense, you're going to break down.
So how many plays you think Toia of that 60?
We're going to be around 60. Hopefully, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, we'd be around 60 where the top offense.
Okay, we're 60. How much is Jay going to play, Coach?
How much Jay going to play in that 60?
If we run 60, like I said, about 10? Between 5 to 10.
Shit. So you said Marvin's gonna get 50, Coach?
I don't think listen, you're gonna have sometimes where you're not playing a one tech. You're gonna have three techs in there.
That's
you're
true.
Gonna have to pass. It's gonna be certain pass plays where you're not gonna even put him in the game.
But
you're not gonna put the game.
It's gonna be very few times you're gonna take out your one tech. Very few times, Coach.
You don't think that they're not gonna have a lineup where they have Simon Thomas and OC in the game?
I think they're gonna have packages like that, but this is what we try to get down to.
That's a privilege.
It is a privilege.
It's getting down to Jay. That's what it's all coming down to. It's trusting Jay. And the depth. That's all. That's it. It's like I don't trust the depth. That's it. And that's it. See, this is the thing. We close. And I feel like we real close to being contenders. Like real contenders.
Real close on paper.
It's like on paper we look all right. I think philosophy we aligned. On offense we aligned. I think that the culture of competition is smart by Brian Schottenheimer. I think he led the groundwork. Amazing. I'm just worried about that depth.
Yeah,
That's
if
it.
you get Mozzie get hurt or Osa get hurt.
Wait. I think we okay if Osa get hurt, Coach. I think we good at 3 tech.
I think we more than good at 3 tech.
We got so many 3 techs,
Deep
Coach.
is hell.
We deep at 3. We shallow at 1.
I'm gonna say this about Osa. Osa's gonna dominate so much at 3, you ain't gonna worry about your 1.
Yeah. Oh hell no, Coach. Wait.
That's it. If you got a dominant 3 tech and you even decide to block him 1-on-1, double team the other way, he gonna dominate.
Coach.
And Lou played off his line. You decide to block one of the dominant defensive tackle 3s with 1-on-1 blocking, and you said, well, we're gonna worry about doubling the other guy, and we're gonna block you 1-on-1 and see how that works.
I think that's if we face a zone team, yeah, that's gonna work. But the teams who who old school run it down your throat, power football, they gonna take that 3 tech out the game. They gonna shield him off, and it's gonna be me, the center, and the guard on that on that nose. And it's either the nose hold up, or we're going to go kill your backs, your -1 linebacker, your Will, your Sam, whoever that be, or it's your Mike, and we're gonna kill, because that's all the offensive line is, Coach. If I kill you, I'm getting to your player. I'm getting to your man. That's all it is. So you can scheme past a 3 tech. You got traps for that. That's the whole point of trap. You know what I'm saying? We need the 1 tech to be a root. You can't move.
Yes, that's out. That's it. It's like I'm trying to figure out like what's wrong with Linval Joseph again. What's wrong with Raekwon Davis? That's all I'm asking for. Like, I'm not asking for Vita Vea. I'm asking for. Yeah, I am. But I'm also trying to meet Steven in the middle, right? But Steven want his 1 tech Mozzie to be the guy. He want our guy to be the guy, right? I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you your guy to be the hero 1 tech guy. But can you give me insurance, please? If your guy gets injured, or if your guy's not the guy, can we get some insurance, please? Outside of Jay?
Yeah, but again, I mean, they're Linval Joseph and all those guys are gonna be out there. They ain't going nowhere. And yes, Linval looked good in some plays, but there were some plays he looked very, very bad.
But Coach, look at the list. Look at the list. Where is a rookie on this list?
There ain't no rookies.
This is the top, Coach. I know this the mentality and everything
I'm
like
say
that.
This again. If we looking at the defensive tackles as the sole purpose of stopping the run, as being a good run team,
ain't nobody say sole.
I'm saying it's sole. I'm saying it's a common theme.
They may be about 15%.
You talking about front line?
In a game of inches, you can lose off 15%.
Listen, man. And one key we say we go by Philly. Philly had the same personnel, different attitude, and couldn't stop the run. Better attitude, they dominated the run, and it became the #1 defense.
So, Coach, where you putting the other 85?
The other 85 it comes from, listen, man. Stopping the run, man, and running the ball is a collective effort. It's more collective than stopping the pass or throwing the ball.
Agreed.
Listen, man, our linebacker play got better than last year, and I believe what you said about Zimmer. I just think the only thing that happened with Zimmer team was we had a lot of injuries, and I think the continuity, I just think we had young linebackers, and then we had the veteran linebacker, he got hurt for a little while. I just think the continuity, and we right, boss, as they played together a little bit better and longer, they got better.
Good. Yeah, they did.
Well, that's about continuity. You're not going to stop the run unless you get continuity And I think a lot of our problems in the first part of the year is that we didn't have continuity because we don't practice against a run team. We practice a glorified 7-on-7. And then we get into this preseason and we just do what we've been doing in practice all the time. Throw the ball 40 times. So
Zim
it took a while to get adjusted. And that time, putting that time in after the first 5 or 6 games where we kind of blew up against and led loud big plays against the Ravens and stuff. And as we worked on it, we got better. And even our run game got better as we kept going through the season and working on it. And I think Schottenheimer is not going to allow us not to work on it. And I think continuity-wise, our run defense is going to get better. But the truth to be told, we got to get better all across the board in our run defense. And we got to have a mentality to stop it. But in some aspects, I don't see the mentality. I may be hearing it now, but I'm looking for, you're right, Osa and Michael Parsons, to me, are going to be the catalyst of stopping the run. Because every team I've been on, there has been guys that was on that team that says, man, we ain't running the ball against us, man, and you better do your job. This ain't how we built.
Yeah, I remember Zimmer said specifically what turned the run game around with his DTs. He said basically what happened was he started allowing them to attack. And when they was attacking, he said that's really started helping them also be better run stoppers and enforcers. So I think it's what you said, not practicing against a physical team and prepping them, but also I think it was Coach Zimmer figured it out. And that's one thing I was going to say that I want Eberflus to keep. There's certain things I want him to keep from Zimmer, you know? Like I want him to keep, this is what had your DTs playing better, like real talk. And that DTs playing better had your linebackers playing better. Like towards the end of the season in the watch parties, I remember we was all saying that the defense was carrying the team. I remember doing shows that Zimmer was saving Mike McCarthy's job. Like he really was at the time. It was like we were starting to say at the end of the season they need to make Zimmer the head coach. Yeah, because that's how much he band-aided that depleted defense. You know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, so Coach and Lou, it sounds like we all kind of saying similar things.
Oh yeah, we on the same page.
We saying similar things.
Very much so.
We all saying that it's effort, right? That is coaching. Yeah, that is coaching, but it's also talent because I trust Mozzie. I do.
It's the gumbo.
I don't trust Jay. I don't trust Jay with a lot of reps. I trust Jay how you said, Coach, which is perfect to me. 5 to 10, oh, I'm chilling. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect developmental. But if it's anything more than that, I think we setting him up to fail. And I think he gonna end up being like this list that I had. Hold on, let me show this list again. Let me show this list. Let me show this goddamn list, bro. I think it's gonna end up being this again, man. I think it's gonna end up being that. Because this is what I see with Dallas. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I think Dallas put too much on our one text too fast. And then when they don't come out, like we want them to be instant, I think we try to make them like instant oatmeal. When some things just take time to cook. Like, I don't know too many one texts that's really good until year 3. That's why I know Mozzie gonna be good this year. That's why Jordan Davis didn't need no help this year because he was in year 3. But when he was a rookie, he needed help. They went and got Linval Joseph and they went and got Soup, right? So when you look at Dallas does the opposite. They'll get you, draft you late, and then expect too much of you early. And so then when they don't pan out immediately, we wait. We Dallas, get out of here.
Dallas don't like to chew their DTs.
Truth to be told,
they don't like to chew their DTs, bro.
They don't like what?
They don't like to chew their DTs.
Oh Lord,
they just want to swallow, bro.
Oh that's right. Man,
they just want to swallow.
You gotta chew them. Can you explain that, please?
They a little tough, man. They a little tough. Some steak, you get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like butter. It melts in your mouth. But DT is a position. I don't care how you marinate it. There are some exceptions. You may get a certain cut of beef. Some rookies just get in there, splash, and That's the generationals, you know? That's your grade A. But most are like grade C, and you got to chew and work that thing. I don't care how they marinate it, if they cooked it sous vide, you know what I'm saying? Reverse sear, whatever. It's still gonna be damn tough.
Yeah.
Keystone with that
let me say something about what you say, the guy from Philadelphia, the big guy.
So
Yeah,
we talking about
Jordan
Carter
Davis.
or Carter?
Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis' year was horrible.
Yeah,
His playing time went down to the point where
he was horrible, coach.
Milt Williams came in and Milt Williams came in.
Yo, hold on,
and took
coach.
his
It
starting
was
route.
horrible.
Yeah, they didn't even pick up his 5th-year option. They said no.
Coach, are you sure, coach?
Yeah, they didn't pick up his 5th-year
I'm
option.
not,
They didn't.
wait, hold on. I'm not gonna cap like I know. See, that's one thing I'm not gonna do is cap.
This is why he came
I'm
out.
not
this
But you're
year
saying
in
terrible,
OTAs.
coach.
Yes, that's why they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. When if they don't pick up your 5th-year option, that's telling you something. When they say, "Hey, that's it," and that's why he came out. He's playing for it, trying to get a job. Milt Williams came in and took his starting reps, and then got a big time payday in New England, and he half the size. This is where you had. This is what you said. Not having yes men, having people that's coming in. Remember you said that, and I thought you was perfect on that when you said you had coaches not being yes men.
Yes, man.
We got coaches that's trying to find out but you do have coaches that say, "Hey, man, if you ain't putting out, listen, when you don't pick up your 5th-year option, boss, what that say about your play?"
If they don't pick up your 5th-year option, that's a definitely bad indication. It is. Generally, it is. It's something in the water.
Yeah. So, but he came out in OTAs this year, and they said in OTAs he's going off because
He tried to get it.
Coach would say, "Hey, we gonna show you that the next guy can step in here that ain't got the biggest height and gonna give him a big payday, and we ain't gonna pick up your 5th year." And they didn't back down on that. So they're really telling him, "This is it, deuces."
Yeah.
So again, you got to get somebody to be motivated, and I want to make sure I'm gonna tell everybody I'm on board. If we need to get, we need to get the talent. We need to get someone in. But I don't want this team to have an excuse to say, "Oh, we ain't got no." I want them collectively, because I got a word from inside there that this is not a total effort about stopping the run.
Okay, I'm with you, coach. I'm with you.
Oh no, coach, I got something for you. No, it ain't out in the house. You know what I'm saying?
All
Just
the way with you.
May 20th.
You ain't got to say much with me, coach.
May 20th, 2025. Not gonna lie, MF are not thinking about that run when you have a healthy Dak, CD, and GP. My rookie year with Coop, we averaged 30 points a game with a fluid run game. We'll be all right. What year is that?
Now.
That's DQ, right?
Yeah.
That's that DQ mentality. And this, I know this we do need to get this up out of here. Because I quote tweeted this. And you can his brother was right there when I said, Mike, what the hell are you talking about? We gotta worry about the damn run. What are you talking about? No, we need to worry about the run. What happened in the playoffs that year, your rookie year? What happened all throughout that season? Every game we lost to a team that was hard-headed, and they were saying, no, we know you're going to break. We're going to continue to run the ball. We get beat the exact same way for every year, and we still ain't learned our lesson. Yep. So, yes, but you're right. There is a mentality. But my thing is this. I think in the same vein, Coach, I think our front office we make I think DQ wants to stop the run. He showed it because he at Washington. Even though they're better than what we were. When he gets D tackles, when he gets linebackers, he makes the effort. I think he just did what he had to do because we were depriving him of talent. And how I know it is because this list right here speaks for it all. Right here. One thing on this list.
Talent.
Not just talent.
Veterans. Yep.
I'm talking about
mentality. And what Coach said.
And mentality. You're right. It's
all three.
10 years, like Cameron Hayward, the Steelers always been a hard-nosed team. He 18 years. They've been playing smash mouth for 18 years. He knows what he's doing in them trenches.
Yeah,
He
man.
knows what he's doing.
Can I say one more thing too, man? Just real quick. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I ain't mean to cut. Once you finish, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Once you finish though, I got excited.
I'm gonna go after
You know how it is, bro. You know
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, my bad, bro. Am be doing me like that. Am made me still do that. He'll just cut you off because he want to say what's on his mind so bad. No, but real quick, and I'm just being honest, man. We doing Brian wrong, in my opinion. We doing Brian Schottenheimer wrong, in my opinion. When I really think about how he said that games are won and lost in the trenches. Let me put on my clear off views when I say this.
No.
To me, that say you got to give him that first, not last. You gave him Booker first. You did him right on offense. You took care of him. I don't like how they doing the opposite on defense again. If you pull up that list of history, right, of needs, I don't like that they doing it to Brian again. I think when your head coach says games are won and lost in the trenches, even if you don't want to really spend nothing on it, just throw an extra piece of chicken in there. Like, Al, I know you're hungry. You're hungry, brother. Guess what? I'd have threw an extra drumstick in your coach.
I appreciate you, my guy.
Coach, I know you said you thirsty. Guess what? Instead of giving you a regular cup, I gave you an extra size. I supersized your drink. You feel? Because coach, you said you're hungry. That's what you said you wanted. When my head coach says, I see the game where this is how I see it. I see the games as being won in the trenches. It's like, don't take care of me over here and don't take care of me over there, little mama. We all know that when we're dealing with the ladies. You feel me? If you go do it right. And you're doing me wrong.
Okay.
And one thing,
I can't say this right quick.
Yeah.
I believe Matt Eberflus is going to take what he knows best and going to unleash a fury on this team, on these teams, with a linebacker core that's going to rival the New Orleans Saints linebacker core back in the day.
Yeah, I agree.
He's going to take this linebacker core, and he's going to show you what a linebacker core, because he's the only person that got LVE to 100 and some tackles. Listen, and to be honest with he's the only guy that got LVE to 100 tackles.
I have no problem with the linebackers.
He's going to take this linebacker core and unleash you. Listen, I believe Zimber had the chance to do it, but they were just a little green. And then they got hurt with some injuries here and there. But he's going to take the second year and the guys that he brought in, and he's going to unleash this linebacker core to another level where it's going to be very, and as I said about the run game, both of them work hand in hand. Let me say this. Going to be great on one end.
I like what you're saying when Mozzie is in the game.
It's going to make it better for the defensive line when you got aggressive.
No, I agree.
Line.
I like what you're saying when Mozzie's in the game. I don't like what you're saying when Jay is in the game.
Here's my thing with coaching, and we're gonna say this. This is gonna play in your hands. You saying coaching matters, coach, but can I also say this statement? If you know you a good coach, you got the pedigree, everything like that, can you be bougie in the talent you coach? What I'm saying by this, we know Nick Saban is the all-time great, but would Nick Saban be Nick Saban at Arkansas State?
No.
I'm just saying right now, we know Eberflus is known from stopping the run. But you know who's a guy I know is a really good coach as well? He got some guys on this list. Look at 2022. Quentin Williams and Solomon Thomas. Those are White Cotton guys. So I can say White Cotton is a good coach. So why not get White Cotton what he needs into replicating right here
Right.
That 2022.
Go ahead, Bill Parcells. Say it.
And
Groceries matter.
You know who's not on that list? Now I'm looking on that list, and this might be a detriment to Quinn. Washington had 2 dominant defensive tackles.
Yeah.
They probably been on that list in a couple of years. And our defensive line coach came from Washington last year. I don't even know if he got another job yet. He was built. He looked like a monster, but he had 2 monster defensive tackles in Washington and lost his job.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if I know I'm a great coach in White Cotton, I want to coach the best of the best. That's, I mean, as much as we love Nick Saban, you ain't going to Alabama unless you was a certain caliber of player.
Man, Lou, you can take it and flip it to anything, bro.
Kirby Smart.
Chefs want the best ingredients, don't they?
They're the best knives.
Give me that organic, the best knives. I got a set of Wish-Doffs in the kitchen my damn self. You hear me? If you don't know what Wish-Doffs is, you ain't no real chef. I digress, but it's all about the ingredients. If I can get better, I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
What's killing me right now is I might be displaying passivity too if I had looked at the bank account and it was a little bit low. But last time I checked, damn it, we still had some money to spend. So the fact that we still had some money to spend, go back to that store and empty that damn purse.
And so, and it go back to passivity. It's perfect. It's perfect you said that, Amp. It's passive. So it's like, to say the most important things is to stop the run and to run the ball, and you could have got Chubb for $1 million. What we doing?
What we doing?
To just say, hey, we just want some insurance in here with Jay. We ain't saying get rid of Jay. We not saying we don't believe in Jay. We just saying, what if Mozzie get hurt? We don't want to throw all that on Jay.
With that tough ass piece of meat.
We don't want to spend a couple of million for like just $1 million for Linval, for a Raekwon. They would only cost about $1 million or $2 million right now, coming off the street. And I don't want to play the game if we can get them at any time, because guess what? They big boys. And big boys coming off the couch take time to get in game shape. So we picked up Linval on the 3rd preseason game last year, and we suffered the first 3 games for that shit too. So it's like, we got to get these guys in here now. And we fuck around too much, in my opinion, with what we say supposed to be first. If you keep saying the first thing we supposed to do is stop the run and run the ball, why you so cheap on running back, like with Chubb, and why you so cheap on DT on a 1-tech, but you going to the USFL to go get unlimited 3-techs like it's a buffet? It's like, nah, bro. It's like, I'm saying, it's like, and why you playing? It's like, we are really close, Steven.
Boss, I'm about to go biblical. I'm about to go biblical real quick, bro. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Oh, man.
I digress.
It don't make sense. So it's like, now, and then I'm talking about it almost every show. I'm going to do only a couple more shows on this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let everybody lay in their goddamn bed. Because it's like, listen, I'm tired of being a good bad guy for trying to win a championship. It's a long history of the champions having a solid 3-tech or 1-tech. Usually a superstar is at one of those positions for every champion.
Facts.
And we over here begging for goddamn Linval Jones and the Raekwon and getting fought? Really?
Scraps.
It's like, no. It's like, okay, I'm going to let everybody lay in that bed. But I'm going to say this. Philly go come to collaborate that thought. It better be right. It better be right.
Yeah.
It better be right. Because the philosophy sounds cute. But when them dudes come to hit you in your gut, and Philly coming, and I'm going to say this, bro. Every team that blew us out last year was committed to running the ball. Every team. All the teams that committed to running the ball blew us out.
You know the strange thing about Philly last year? And this is why I say the inconsistency of our run defense. I think we were one of the only teams that held Saquon Barkley in the game under 100 yards.
Yeah.
The first game and the second game, if we remember, he was struggling to try to get
Mossy
the record.
played good. Yeah, Mossy played good that game. We did a film breakdown of that.
Yeah. To get 2 big runs to get to 150.
Yeah.
If he didn't get those big runs, he would have had. So again, like I said,
we
are locked in, right, and we dedicated to it, we can play it. But we go in there
I gotta push you back a little bit on that though, Coach. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just to be a little bit balanced on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a whole film breakdown on Mozzie year 1. Okay. And what was obvious is that Mozzie just wasn't ready year 1. He just his strength wise he wasn't ready. He was tough. He fought back, but he had shit for Jenkins. Jenkins was dogging it. Right?
Landon Mozzie development. If you go back to Michigan, that's how he was in Michigan his first year too.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. So then year 2, did I say the wrong person?
The guard, Landon
Dickerson. Dickerson handled Mozzie year 1, bro. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only person that I saw handle Mozzie one-on-one the whole year.
With one hand. But year 2, Mozzie hit a step. And you can see Mozzie, he wasn't able to do that year 2. That's my minor pushback. The second half of the year. That's my minor pushback.
You know why? Because he came off shoulder surgery during the offseason, and defensive tackles that come off shoulder surgery, they're not going to be good till you get to game 7 or 8 in the season.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying he was stronger too. I think he just was stronger, and it's going back to need some kind of bit. That's all I'm saying. It's like Mozzie year 1 just wasn't strong enough. Just straight up, the same guy that whooped his ASS year 2 did not. To your point, that Saquon struggled to get that record.
That 100, yeah.
He did. And we looked at every play because I was wondering. I was looking at it, Coach, and Lou. I was looking at it trying to see, is he gonna whoop you again this year? And because I looked at it every play and he didn't. So yeah, I think it is the effort for sure. I think it's the effort, but you got to at least give me a year 2, year 3 player.
Yeah,
man, look, it's like with Big Boy told and an ATL. This grown man business. Down to
it's grown man business.
Grown man
business. I'm done. I ain't saying nothing else after that.
I say this right here, man, and Boss, y'all can, and I know you're amp, y'all can testify that I've said this many times on our live stream.
Mm-hmm.
If we just eliminated explosive runs that's over 30, 40 yards, our run defense would not be as bad. When you get multiple games, look at Henry. Henry did 2 big time runs, put him in big time category. Then we have
A-gap runs too. It was the A-gap runs too.
What I'm saying to you this. When you get massive runs, that's a total defensive breakdown. Because there's always should be levels to this thing. And we could just eliminate the big runs and make people get 5 yards a carry. Just like you put up that yards per carry. If we look at it, we gave them more explosive runs than just about anybody. If we could just eliminate the explosive plays, I think we'll be better in the run game. We don't have to be dominant. We just have to make sure we don't give up explosive runs. And that's but 2 things we don't do well. We give up too many runs and we don't get enough. We either lose it. We don't get enough and we give up too many. So, and the reason why we don't get explosive runs, because it's not the offensive line. In the explosive run, anybody tell you, you got to have guys blocking down the field so you get that 5-yard run can turn into 25, 30. Just be dedicated to getting in people's way. And just be dedicated to get guys on the ground. And I really think not only with our one tech, our safety play needs to get better in the run game.
I'm gonna have to get my final word. 'Cause I gotta get up early.
Yeah, we can all give it.
Yeah, I got to get up early. If y'all give me safe travel, I'm traveling to and you talked about my dad. I'm going to my dad's hometown to Montgomery, Alabama tomorrow, man, to spend the 4th of July, man. That's the majority of my family at, man. So I'm traveling, man. So give me some prayers out there for safe travels, man.
Yes, sir. Safe travels, yeah.
I'll definitely pray for you. I'm gonna just kind of say it like this. We being passive. Until we get a one tech, we being passive. But I'm gonna say this. Let me be clear on that too. A one tech to help Mozzie, to be insurance for Mozzie. I don't understand the logic of saying, because people understood if CD Lamb go down, people would literally say the season is over. That's what people would say. But they don't. I don't see how it's not the same logic that if Mozzie go down, you're depending on Jay. How does that not compute? How does it not compute with the schedule that we have? So this is the deal, though. Everybody go get a chance to get their philosophies tested. We all throwing our theories out there, but it's gonna get tested.
Mm-hmm.
The battle ain't gonna really be over for trying to get talent though into the trade deadline. So let's keep that in mind. We're gonna all have to just keep discussing this, talking about this, observing this. From preseason, from training camp, everything that we can put our eyes on, we need to keep our eyes on this, in my opinion. Keep our eyes on this, because guess what? If the one tech's holding up, if Jay holding up, I'm gonna do many shows saying Boss is eating crow, Boss is wrong, we finna be fine, Jay is okay, our one techs don't need nothing. I was panicking. I would say it loud. But if we come out there and get hit in the mouth in the A gap, like we did with the Ravens, because those two big runs that Henry had was on A gap runs. It wasn't the edges. It was the A gap big ass runs, and one of them was for a touchdown. So if that happened again, Bosco show back up and say, all right, we got a trade deadline coming up. Are we ready to talk about this now? Are we ready to talk about this? Because it's a long season. So
yeah.
we can still button shit up, just like we button it up with Amari. We button up receiver by committee. So I think we need to all be open. I'm open to be wrong, but other people got to be open to be wrong. You got to be open to say, you know what? Yeah, we fucking need talent. Because guess what? Let me show this real quick, and then I'm gonna stop talking. I ain't got to show it. I saw what happened with Quentin Bohanna. Quentin Bohanna got whooped by Philly so bad that the next day they went and got Jonathan Hankins before the trade deadline. So this is the discussion that we gonna have. I'm gonna turn off my discussion after I do a couple of more shows on this. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. We gonna all live in this bed. And I'm gonna support my Cowboys and believe in my Cowboys. I'm gonna support the hell out of them. But we gotta keep eyes and let's keep talking about this. It's my final word. Because we're close. We're close, y'all. We're close. That's why you hearing me pound the table so much on one thing. I ain't talking about corners much. I'm not talking about safety at all. I'm talking about one thing that I feel like is in the way of a real contending window, and that's depth to help Mozzie and Jay. That's my final word.
Can I go next? So let me go next. So I gotta get out of here. Listen, man. I echo what Boss said, man. Listen. If I believe in Schottenheimer, and I'm gonna go back to what he said, that this team is gonna go as far as the offensive line.
That's what he said.
If I believe in why we drafted Tyler Booker,
right,
and what we saw on film of Tyler Booker,
yeah.
If I believe in what I know of Tyler Smith and where he came into the league, and his mauling capabilities, if I believe in we getting the college coach and BB is going to become that maul. If that's what I believe in, then offensive line, damn it, show us what we need a damn one tech. Beat them down, start training camp, that they're going to say, hey, wait, whoa. We need to go we need to go get a guy because these guys are showing us every day that this ain't gonna work.
Oh, okay.
Expose their ass.
Right. Okay, I got you.
They'll lead the charge. I want them to lead the charge, starting with their own team to say, you ain't got enough tools in the box for this.
I love it, Coach.
We showing you that this ain't enough tools in the box.
I'm showing you.
If we can't dominate the guys that we say is maybe weak, how we gonna go into the league in the team and run the ball on other people if we can't dominate these guys? So if he said he's trying to get the team to learn to be led by this offensive line,
show him.
This where your offensive line shows you, hey, you need some more guys over there. And we're going to challenge those guys. I hate to go back. I don't want to go to reference of the 90s. But the Great Wall got good because of the defensive line. And the defensive line, the Great Wall good. Both of them big. They sharpen iron. If they're not iron on the other side, I want Tyler and this offensive line to show the Cowboys in practice before we even get to Philly.
Talk, Coach!
This ain't it.
This ain't it. Or is it?
That's right.
Or is it
because if we're not dominant, like Mo said, if we're not dominant on that line that can dominate
both.
How we expect we're going to dominate other teams if we say these guys are weak and we can't dominate them?
Both with an F.
That right, Joe?
Yes, I believe in what I see the makeup of the guys. And listen, the guys that I believe in our middle of our offensive line, they should show you. Marvin should get better. Osa should get better. And if these two rookies ain't ready, they're going to get mowed like lawnmower grass.
Yeah.
And then you know what you're going to say? We'll know in first 2 weeks. You'll see when the Dallas be out there trying to get another one. Hey, because they see it. They're not going to trust to go in the game in Philly if they getting mowed like lawnmower grass with their own team. And the two's going to go against the one. Those guys we talking about, those rookies, they going to go against these guys a lot. And I'm looking for Tyler Book and them to baptize them in the real water of the NFL.
Amen.
That's why we got them, did right? That's what our motive was, to get 3 monsters in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Let's show and prove. Get our team ready, because that's what your head coach said. He said you're gonna be led by the front, up front, and that's what he said. He's gonna show the tone. So do that, Booker and BB and Tyler. Do that for me.
Do that for me.
Front office that you need to go get somebody else.
I love it.
Do that for me.
Facts.
Facts.
Go ahead, Amp.
So I feel good about the team. I feel good about the outlook.
Yeah.
I'm about, as far as optimism, I'm probably at about 75-ish, 80-ish right now. Okay?
That's a good score.
And it's because I see the potential.
Right. It's
I
a
see
lot
the
of potential.
pieces.
It's a good
It hadn't come together yet.
Not all the way.
But I see the pieces.
Like them clean glasses.
I see the philosophy. Appreciate you, dog.
No problem.
I see the outlook.
Man.
And I'm hearing what they're preaching.
They preaching.
I just want them to carry the end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is, too. And don't be afraid to push the button. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid to potentially bust on that player that can take you over the top. Look, we got to go out there this season, but when you go to Vegas, sometimes you got to be willing to lose it all. Because guess what? When I hear this talk about salary cap hell and the fact that we could be in a financial upside down situation for years, I say, cool, I hear you. I understand. Look, Amp buy this dollars too. But then I look at the fact that I have not been able to celebrate a Super Bowl with my team
in 30 fucking years.
I'm out.
Boom.
My final words is this, man. Cowboy Nation, you need to look in the mirror because y'all are to blame for this as well. Be honest with you, you are to blame for this passivity. Okay, every time I hear around the league when I'm talking about defensive tackles, the first thing that come out their mouth is pass rush. I turn it off immediately. Immediately. I literally quote tweeted it, bro. Some of y'all, when y'all talking about my favorite game, y'all, I lose brain cells. Why are we talking about sacks with a defensive tackle? I know why, because all the damn defensive tackles get sacks. I understand Dexter Lawrence, Quentin Williams and all that, but that's not the position right here. I'm trying to be like that. Give me a damn Vita Vea. Vita Vea don't get no damn sacks. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Whenever it's time to play Tampa Bay, and we get that scouting report from our coach at the beginning on that Monday or Tuesday, whenever they bring their ass to fucking work, and it says Vita Vea on that damn thing. If I'm in the offensive line room, I'm saying, oh shit, because it's finna be a long day.
Mm-hmm.
It's finna be a long day. He ain't finna get moved. He gonna go at your ass, and guess what? He ain't gonna get no sacks about it. That's what we're missing from our front. I want an immovable object that's going to feed the rest of my team. And then I'm right here with you, coach. I'll go at my stars. I told you that right now. I ain't got no money. My money is funny and my credit won't get it. But best believe this. If Dak is over there audibling out of some fucking runs, my ass would be at fucking AT&T Stadium.
Oh, that's the next show.
Yeah, we gonna
Come
talk
on,
about
bro.
that.
We doing that show.
If Micah is right here talking about this shit right here, I don't give a damn if his brother is following me. His brother is with me. Micah, you better fix your damn face. What the hell you talking about? You ain't got to worry about the damn run. You got to earn your rights to rush the passion. I don't know who didn't tell you otherwise, but that's how the game is. Football was played in the 1910s, god damn it, and that's how it's gonna be played in 2026. Straight like that.
And as coach would say, that's a soft ass mentality.
Soft.
Who's betas and who's alphas?
Exactly. All these teams right here. This is ridiculous. One common theme. This is our fault. Defensive tackle every damn year. Every damn year. Death taxes and defensive tackle being left off Stephen Jones' budget.
I swear.
See, I'm a passionate fan. Like I said, I didn't grow up in the 90s and everything like that. But one thing was different. Them 90s teams left no stone unturned.
None. Zero.
None. And aggression wasn't even a second thought. It was the first thought. And this passivity was even in the room then. Yep. His ass was even in the room then.
He was.
And I would have slapped the shit out of him, respectfully.
Oh, damn.
The moment he said, we talking about some Deion, I saw the damn video. And he talking about, he's too flashy and everything like that. We robbed our enemies. And we got probably, in my opinion, the best cornerback in history. What? Right. If you say something about some damn budget in that room, I would have slapped the shit out of you, respectfully.
Yep.
He did, though.
So, I'm saying this mindset has been in the Cowboys all this time. Now it's on the forefront.
That's right. And
now I'm trying to kill it. I'm trying to slap the shit out of some people, metaphorically. Because I hate it. We are too damn close. Too damn close, Cowboy Nation. Y'all all about the draft was telling me about how much we need a wide receiver too, showing me all these duos and all these great offenses. Well, damn it, I'm showing you all these great defenses, and they got a common theme. All these defensive tackles right here range from being in the league 6 to 10 years. 10 years, grays in their beard. Go get me one. Go get me a salt and pepper, please. Salt and pepper, please, on my nose tackle, please.
Yeah, give me some. When he say salt and pepper, he said, "Give me some season. Give me a vet.
Give me a vet.
It got to be 3 years and older. So you need some of these.
Please, because if you're not serious.
Can I echo one thing what you said, Lou?
Go ahead.
Lou said he's not a '90s guy, but I remember in the '90s, the Cowboys made one acquisition, and it wasn't Deion. They went and got a Tony Casillas just to play run defense, and he was their best run defense. That's when the run defense turned around because Tony Casillas, he didn't get drafted by the Cowboys. They went and traded and got Tony Casillas, and he turned the run defense around because that was his specialty. And that's where the run defense turned around when Tony Casillas came in here.
And we
they
didn't
draft him. Jimmy went and got him.
We need a vet.
what he said, he went to go get him. He didn't wait for him.
He
I know
went and
people
got
like, oh, we waiting for
Foster
June 1st cuts. We waiting for the first wave. He went to go get him. You go get what it was. Like everybody, every champion that we had since the 90s, since us, copied us.
Copy us.
They copied us. They got aggressive. So why I don't know where in your thought you think you can win your every Super Bowl champion got aggressive at some point. You
Dallas
need to be aggressive.
Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Don't be Amp and Lou. You see how Lou got the little peach for us? Don't do that. Don't do Amp. He got no gray. You need Coach Marv and Boss. You need that. That's what you need. You need some gray. You hear me? That's what you need. We need some. What you say? Lou came up with that. We need
Salt and
gray in
pepper.
the beer,
I want some salt and pepper. Give me some salt and pepper on my steak, please.
Thank
Feel me?
Well, hey, what salt and pepper does? Amp is about salt and pepper enhance the flavor and brings out the flavor, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go what you saying, Lou. We need to bring a guy in here that's gonna help with the culture build that we're trying to put in here. Bring us a veteran and pick that guy that has the right culture that comes in here, and he might play 3 plays, but he might have everybody else playing wide open from then on.
Perfectly said.
Help your culture shine high by bringing a guy in here that's going to foster your culture build.
That's right.
Quit clipping his wings. Let's get serious about stopping the run.
Get him what he said he wanted.
I appreciate everybody for coming in here. Wherever you are watching from, make sure to like, subscribe to all these fine gentlemen's channels, Amp Sports, Boss Show Me, even though it's Boss Cowboy.
The channel still Boss Cowboy, but only call me Boss Show Me. You got to show me now talking shit.
and Coach Marv, Real Talk. If y'all didn't know, now you know.
Coach
Go on and
Marv.
hey, type it in. Turn on notification bell
Yes,
so
sir.
you can know when we going live, when we post a video, everything like that. And I'm late. I didn't know y'all was going live. You should have had the notification bell on and everything like that. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for coming out. Cowboys, get serious. Steven,
Passivity.
stop being passive.
Stop it.
Wake up. Look at everybody in red.
Close, Steven. You real close. Stop playing.
Stop playing. All them people in red we got up there and everything like that, man. Listen, I'm not trying to waste another team's prime, man. But I appreciate y'all, Cowboy Nation.
Everybody have a happy 4th, man.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Put your money where your mouth is, Steven.
They say that's the most important.